Well, hey friends, and welcome back. So today we are evaluating more Sonos stuff. We have the Sonos in-ceiling speakers, which are these guys. We've got Ben as well, who I didn't give any premise to this video on. And then we also have the in-wall Sonos speakers. So Ben, will you take those out of the box real quick? So just to bring you up to speed as to what we're working on. I did a video a couple weeks ago on this setup. These are two passive Polk bookshelf speakers and two powered subs with a Sonos amp. So the problem with this particular setup is if you are not using a Sonos brand speaker, you can't use the room correction and EQ software that is inclusive, and it is called Truematch, I think. I'm doing this off the top of my head. So a background on the project, this is a test setup for an entertainment center case that I have in process. I would like to use the Sonos amp with that speaker, or with that system, because I need to take audio off of eARC, off of the HDMI. All of the TV manufacturers no longer have an analog audio source, and long story long, you can't attenuate the PCM. You can't attenuate the PCM audio signal, so you have to use an attenuator like a soundbar or an amp. And if you're missing, if you want to check out the other video on this Polk setup, check the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And if you'd also like to know why I'm in the predicament that I'm in, we did a Shop Talk episode about that, explaining the foils of unmitigated PCM audio, and you can check the upper right-hand corner of your screen for that video. Which brings us to today. The original Polk video was a bit of a learning experience for me, because I didn't realize that Sonos's room correction software would only work with their stuff. So before I write the specification for this system, I did want to check out the build quality of these particular speakers to see if they could survive in the road, in a road application, and then also what the build quality of them are. Because as you can imagine, this is an installer kind of thing, and I think that most people don't really care what their in-wall speakers look like or the specs on them. But if you're an integrator like me, that stuff is very important. And I just found that this did not exist on the internet. So Ben, here's what we're up to with this. On our normal entertainment center cases, we build that front fascia piece that has the pressed metal in it. I think that I can just mount these speakers to that. But I wanted to see, is if the mounting hardware would be strong enough to support them, which they are, as I anticipated. I've certainly done a lot of Atlas coaxial in-ceiling speakers, and they have these little guys where they flip out once you turn the screws, just like a low voltage box or like an Atlas in-ceiling speaker to put it in drop ceiling or drywall, which was my first concern.
These ones seem pretty beefy.
They do certainly seem a bit beefier than the normal install stuff. But I just worry about them bouncing down the road. So kind of what I was thinking is if we could put this in a fascia piece, build a back box for it, because the woofer is not designed for that. And then can we build some type of support for this? So I figured today we'll turn them on, we'll see what they sound like, because I kind of bet that the in-ceiling speakers will sound better because they're just bigger.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to look at the details of the speakers. So the in-ceiling ones say that they're coaxial. I don't know what the in-wall ones are. Let's pop them apart. Can we do that?
I don't know about that.
So.
There we go. No,
Oh, they have a tweeter. They have a separate tweeter.
Yeah.
So what do we think that is? Is that a 6-inch driver?
Yeah, about 6.
Give it the Billy tap test. Oh.
Quite a lot of
Excursion.
there. Yeah.
What do the ceiling ones look like? Is that a magnet on there?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting. Well, that's definitely going to fall off on the road.
What magnets are perfect? They don't ever fall.
Ooh. Ooh. Look at that thing. That is a coaxial driver. Listen to how much, I mean, you can't really hear it, but I bet on the microphone, but there is seemingly better bass response on that. Is it the same size driver? These are probably bigger, right?
I don't know, actually. They do look a little bit bigger, but I don't know.
The tweeter. Hold on, the gimbal. Gimbal died. Sorry, the gimbal died. This is why I always shoot stuff on my phone with low technology things. So, are the drivers the same size?
Looks like they're about the same size. Probably the same speaker.
Yeah, I would agree.
With a modification for this one.
Yeah, to make it coaxial.
Yeah.
The tweeter looks the same though.
Although, I mean, it might even be the same speaker. They just add a dust cap on this one. They've designed it in a way where it can be whatever they need it to be.
All right, let's plug them in. Turn them on. Okay, so we've got these set up, and they're kind of rigged. We're using an espresso cup, but this is going to be pre-True Match. So we're going back to the original audio from what we did on the first one. We're using Fleetwood Mac, The Dance, and the kick drum from that. So Ben, hit it. So I've got the subs turned off. Alright, that's good. We gotta stop it before the melody line comes in so that YouTube doesn't ding us. So, I mean, what would you say the high pass filter is on that thing?
Like 120, something like that.
I think it's higher than that. It's like there's no low end in that. So, they are relatively in phase though, looking at them. I mean, again, I know that we're doing some bad and stupid stuff here, but we're gonna run the True Match system and see what that looks like. So now that there are two of us, we can do that together.
Ooh.
Did you ever do this before?
No.
It's actually pretty sweet. So I'm gonna look over Ben's shoulder and attempt to film doing this. So click the Detect Sonos Architectural setting. Oh, cool. Okay, so tune with Trueplay.
It's starting.
Continue. As quiet as we can be with the air conditioning running and a thunderstorm outside.
You ready?
Yeah. Just so the microphone's facing out.
Oh, 180.
Yeah. Continue.
Or should I stand in the middle there?
It's gonna have you kind of walk around.
Oh, okay.
So just follow the graphics the best you can. So what's it saying?
Balancing.
Balancing.
Oh, wow, it's done.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. That's faster for you.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say it's you usually kind of have to walk around the room. It's like you kind of have to make big, like, sweeping movements. What do you think?
Better.
Can you pause it?
Yep.
Just to make sure we don't get dinged for this. So what are your impressions of it?
I mean, they're still in-wall speakers, not in a wall, but that definitely improved it a lot.
I think the time alignment on it is a lot better too. So let's do this. I'd be curious to see what it does when we hook the subs up.
Oh.
Let's have it run the true match. I just wanted an A/B. And actually, interestingly enough, with the architectural stuff, you can't turn the true match on and off. Like with the Play 1s and the Sub Mini, like I have that set up in my bedroom. And you can turn it on and off to see what it actually does. And with the architectural stuff, you can't. So that's kind of a bummer. But let's see what it does with the subs and see if it tightens the subs up with that tuning. So we'll run that and report back. Okay, this is with the subs with the high pass or the low pass filter turned off and volume at 12 o'clock. So it doesn't sound bad, they just sound a little floppy. So we're gonna run true match on this. And I'm gonna stop talking here for a second. Well, turns out that the room tuning does not output through the sub channel, which is a bit of a bummer. So I think the in-wall speakers sound as good as they can possibly sound with no back box and using them in the raw. So knowing that, I guess let's see what the in-wall or the ceiling speakers sound like in comparison. Thoughts?
Let's try it.
Okay. Well, we can't tune these. It won't let us. It won't let us do the alignment, and it won't let us do the room match. So here are the things that I'm intrigued by, and perhaps you, the YouTube audience, can help us. 1, how does the amplifier know what speaker it is based on the test tone alone? Ben, thoughts?
I was thinking it's probably just an impedance measurement. Like it has a library of what all of the various speakers are that they have, and then it
Now I have 2.
I mean, well, that's even easier then. So if
Yeah.
they're, less variables. But that's like the only thing I could think of, because looking at the board, there's only crossover circuitry on there. It's not any type of complex identifying stuff. Plus, it's only going through an amplifier output. So
would we call the Sonos stuff a success, or are we back to the drawing board?
Probably back to the drawing board at least a bit.
Yeah, that's what I think too. So are we returning these things?
Probably.
All right. Well, in the eARC battle, we will continue. Although I do think that the in-ceiling speakers sound better than the in-wall speakers. I don't know that we addressed that.
Yeah, just from the previous tuning, it did seem like there was a slight difference, but...
The other thing that's a bummer is it doesn't tune the sub. Like, I guess it would probably do it if it was a Sonos sub.
Maybe.
But because it's just taking the LFE output of the amp, it doesn't tune. Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you guys on the next one. We're back to the drawing board. Any advice or input you guys can give us, let us know.